watch the Iran-Contra hearings?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Portions of it.
I watched it for a few days.
I watched a lot of it. My husband was addicted to it.
I watched very little of it.
But I did follow it very closely, yes.
Do you think they're telling the truth?
No, not really.
Not the whole truth.
I think they're under oath, so I think they're telling the truth.
They couldn't remember. They all had lobotomies. Then nobody could remember anything. You talk about senility. Holy cow.
They were lying about most everything.
There is a lot more to the story, but whether or not we'll ever find out about it is another question.
What you saw in the Iran-Contra hearings was the exposure of the beginnings of a national security state which believes it has the right to override the Constitution of the United States in the name of security.
I think that there was a substantial shadow government trying to run foreign affairs for the United States.
In any other country, it would have been called a coup. And they seem to have gotten away with it.
I'd hate to think, as many of my colleagues here have already expressed themselves, that in the process, we have shredded our own democratic fabric.
These are modern-day pirates, these guys. They have escaped, essentially, the control of national governments, but they're available for use by national governments. Sometimes they move under color of, and defend themselves as advancing U.S. national interests in this. But I think that's very secondary with these guys. They're out to make a buck.
I did do it. I am not, as I said in my statement, at all ashamed of any of the things that I did. I was given a mission, and I tried to carry it out.
The Iran-Contra hearings, convened in May 1987 by a special joint committee of the United States Congress to investigate the sale of U.S. weapons to Iran and the illegal diversion of money to the Contras. For 13 weeks, the hearings were broadcast on national television. Over 30 people testified, and the committee issued a 700-page report of its findings. But there are still many important questions that the Select Committee left unanswered and unexplored. Often, the official explanation seemed inadequate and contradictory.
Our government has a firm policy not to capitulate to terrorist demands, that no concessions policy remains in force. In spite of the wildly speculative and false stories about arms for hostages and alleged ransom payments, we did not trade weapons or anything else for hostages, nor will we.
Despite Reagan's denials, investigations soon revealed that arms had been traded for hostages held in the Mideast.
A few months ago, I told the American people I did not trade arms for hostages. My heart and my best intentions still tell me that's true, but the facts and the evidence tell me it is not.
Only days later, it was further revealed that the arms to Iran had been severely marked up. Some of the profits had been illegally diverted to support the Contras, a guerrilla force organized by the CIA fighting the Nicaraguan government. The Reagan administration had a major scandal on its hands.
It's been going on that had been kept from me in various covert
Mr.
operations.
President, did they deceive you? You didn't answer whether Poindexter and North deceived you.
We had weapons being sold by the Pentagon under the Economy Act to the CIA, and the CIA selling them to a third party or an agent, in the case of General Secord, who would then complete the transactions. I'm just trying to find out where the authorities were coming from to do these activities. I mean, clearly there was no congressional oversight over this because it was kept
totally hidden from the Congress. From whom would you have to get the green light in order to make the request, or the direction, I take it, to Secord to move ahead?
Well, as I have testified, Senator, I talked to Director Casey, I talked to Mr. McFarland, I talked to Admiral Poindexter.
The use of U.S. government money for supporting the overthrow of the Nicaraguan government was specifically prohibited when Congress enacted the Boland Amendment in 1984. Even though it remained in effect until 1986, millions of dollars in profits from Iranian arms sales were secretly diverted to the Contras during this period through contacts with middlemen such as Moniker Ghorbanifar.
Mr. Ghorbanifar took me into the bathroom, and Mr. Ghorbanifar suggested several incentives to make that February transaction work. And the attractive incentive for me was the one he made, that residuals could flow to support the Nicaraguan resistance.
Even Ghorbanifar knew that you were supporting the Contras.
Yes, he did. Izvestia knew it. The name had been in the papers in Moscow. It had been all over Danny Ortega's newscast. Radio Havana was broadcasting it. It was in every newspaper in the land.
All our enemies knew it, and you wanted to conceal it from the United States Congress.
We wanted to be able to deny a covert operation.
Did these...
The Federal Reserve System is a sovereign power structure, separate and distinct from the federal United States government. We went over this before, I believe. If not, we're going to revisit it. The Federal Reserve is a maritime leader and a maritime insurance underwriter to the federal United States, operating exclusively under a morality maritime law. The lender or underwriter bears the risk of maritime law compelling specific performance in paying the entrance or premium are the same assets as the debtor. I want to get to the point that the elite, like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds are the Zionists, the head. Every body has to have a head. They are the head of the body of the Jews. This is outlined in the Bible. Jesus. The Federal Reserve System built up a military-industrial complex, and we are living in martial law with no constitution. The black man is still asleep to the fact that he is the original man, or the black god, or the originator of civilization, everything you see. I hope this will wake you up. So, we're living in a debt economy. So now you think that when you buy an expensive car, that you have arrived. But anything that depreciates, that loses value, lets you know that it's a debt system, because The only thing that makes it expensive is inflation, which is a hidden tax. So you're living in martial law. You live in a military state. And as you seen in the this video, that they've been in conflict with Iran for many years, with everybody around the world, really. Where Iran, where you made your mistake was, you made a deal. You started making deals with Satan, man. You can't make deals with Satan. And that's what all y'all, all my black brothers and sisters, y'all compromising who you are. Because Satan has got you fooled with this dollar. Gangs killing up each other over territory. Guys turning their women out on the corner for nothing, really. You walk around here like a peacock, you know. And this makes you feel good because we went, I understand we went through 400, 500 years of torture, man. Losing our culture, our God, our names. Families being divided and split up. Don't think we're gonna come out clean as a whistle. This is Black Light. This is the word of God exposing Satan, Uncle Sam.